them till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my cause, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm starting to jump them till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire.
Good evening, guys, and welcome to DHFC Till We Die. Home of Tottenham, past, present, and excited future under Thomas Frank, as he should, and hopefully will lead us to glory in the 25-26 season. But I am not holding my breath after what I've seen yesterday, over the weekend, and the players that were putting out on loan. Yeah, I think it's going to look bad. I don't think this window is going to be anywhere good enough. And again, it's a window where we're letting down the manager. I think it's people not doing their jobs. And I know we could all blame Levy, but I think the blame has to go around there. Everyone has to be held accountable. Yes, I know the window has got to only a few weeks left, but by Jesus, we need to act, and we need to act fast now. If not, we're going to be in a whole lot of problems. Big up, guys. If you can do us a favor, do hit the like button, do hit the subscription button if you can. We're looking to get up to 2,500 before the season starts, and then sound needs sorting out. Cheers, Wayne. As normal. Hang on. Let's see if this works.
Let me know if that's better, lads. Let me know if that is better. Hopefully it is better. Yeah, I know, Faith, but look, I'm going to go through it tonight. Going to go through Levy's interview and my thoughts on it. I'm going to go through some of the transfer news as well, and yeah, we'll take it from there and see where we go. But look, it's going to be a very interesting last 26 days. It's going to be they need to do something. Let's welcome a few bits up. Luke Chapman putting everything you need to know about Northampton and round Northampton and Wellingborough. I did do a bit of work around there in my time. But up to Adam McFarlane, it says act fast. That's something we do not do. We're doomed. Now, come on now, Adam. Come on. Show a little bit of faith. This is the man called Mr. Levy who does drag rabbits out of his hat. Yeah, that just doesn't go together, does it? No. Big up to John68. Big up Dermo and chat. Big up to you, Dave. Hope you're doing well, man. Big up to Simon Cohen. Big up Dermo. Where is our 10 left winger and striker? Somewhere out in the Premier League universe at another club doing training. But they don't know yet that the mighty Tottenham are coming for them in the next sort of 20 years. Big up to Emmanuel. Big up to Emmanuel. I'm going to call you Emmanuel, if that's the way, because I know we're pronouncing your surname, and I will absolutely kill it. Big up, Derma. Big up to you. Big up to Wayne Bonner as well. Big up, Wayne. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, Wayne. Don't really feel like doing the whole good. I just feel like saying good. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Can't beat the excitement and the anticipation of a transfer. I know. I was awake last night. I was so excited about our transfer window. It's been brilliant, hasn't it? Yeah. It's I tell you what, our transfer window has been as exciting. It is going to Donald Duck's funeral. That's how exciting it is. Yeah. Yeah, cheers. It has been. I hope it's okay now. Big up to Wayne. Big up to Mr. Brady. He says, have a bit of faith. There's 26 days left in the window. I think my face sucked out of me tonight, Philip, when I heard Eze is going to Arsenal, apparently. So I think any little bit of faith I had has now been sucked out of me. But look, tomorrow I could be back being delusional. We're going to sign Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. You know me. Big up to you, Rhino. He says, big up, Dermo. How are you? I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Had a bit of a rough day today, but I'm okay. Yeah, but I'm feeling better now. Big up to you, Giant68. Thank you. Big up to the queen of the channel, Queen Mary the First. Big up to you, Mary. Top man, Dermo. Big up to you, Mary. I hope you're doing well, madam, and I really hope you're having a fantastic day. Gerrard still top 6 finish or dogfight next season. Gerrard's gonna be one or the other, isn't it? Other player I would have kept is Luca. Do you know I would have kept a few, to be fair, Philip? But look, we're not the club. We're not the club, and I think they've made a cock up. I really do. I think they really have. Big up to Dan. Hi, Dermot. How are you doing? Big up to Danny Boy. Hi, Dermot. What do you think of Levy's interview with Neville? I'm going to get into that. That's the first thing I'm going to get into. And Gerard, will we raid Shamrock Rovers or Shells? Knowing our luck, yes. And watching the point. Yeah, Simon, you know, it could be that. Look, and I'm not critical of Levy. I always feel that. Yeah, he should get criticism, but I feel that director of football should get criticism as well. And I stand by this. I still reckon Steve Hitchen doesn't get half the criticism that he deserves when he was director of football. But look, you have to get Levy is fully responsible. He's the man that pulls the purse strings. And watching that interview with Gary Neville, the first thought that came into my head was PR. It's out because we know our transfer window hasn't been great. And for me, it was like a PR move to look what we've done. Look at the stadium we've got. Look at we brew our own beer. I don't think fans wanted to hear that. And I think Gary Neville, I think in my own opinion, didn't ask the right questions of Daniel Levy. He was more into, well, I'm part of the task force to build our new stadium. We don't want to know about your task force. We want you to ask Daniel Levy the difficult question. Now, what I have got, grace of God, is there is another Levy interview coming out in a week or so's time, I think. Simon Jordan is doing the interviewee. I don't think Simon Jordan's going to be as, say, nice to Levy as Gary Neville was. Now, we all know what Simon Jordan's like in TalkSport. He's straight to the point, straight down there. He will give it to you what he thinks. But I don't think, personally, I don't think he's going to let Levy off. Now, this interview was done before we won the Europa League. Why it's taken so long now to come out, I have no idea. But it is coming out, I think, in the next week or so. I need to look out for when it is. And I think the problem we've had a transfer window where we haven't fulfilled what we had to do. Yes, we bought Kudos. Then we had the Morgan Gibbs White scenario, which, if you look at it, right, our transfer window stood still. For them 2 weeks, it stood still while we faffed around with Nottingham Forest and tried to massage the ego of their owner. And we took our eye off the ball. And we took our eye off the ball of players we could have got in. We should have been still talking to Eze. We should have been still talking, getting a striker in. We need a striker. I'm sorry, Richarlison's not good enough this year. We need an improvement on him. We've got no left back at the club. And we've got Ben Davies, who's been here 10 years. He's going to be here longer now. Ben Davies is out, actually stayed at the club longer than Sonny and Harry Kane, which I think is a bit of a disgrace, but there you go. And we just leave everything to the last minute. Nothing's organized. Nothing is prepared properly. We haven't got plan A or plan B or C or D. It's just plan A and that's it. And I just feel with the injuries we've got now to Maddison, with the no left back, we've got plenty of right-sided players, but we've got no left. We've got no left-sided defenders, and it's pointless. We should be out there from the day the window opened, even during that first week of that first window before it's shut. We should have been out there putting the feelers around, doing the job. And we haven't. We haven't done it. And I thought last season was bad. And I've argued with Tequila that this is a better window. I don't think this is any better. And this is me saying that I was probably wrong. Unless we pull a couple of rabbits out in the next 26 days, I don't think this is any better of a window than we had last season. Then who takes the blame for that then? Everyone can blame Levy. Everyone can say it's his fault. But does Lang need to take responsibility of his failures as director of football? And I think he does. And we're all quite happily to blame Levy. It's his fault. It's on his watch. He hired him. He's doing what mandate that's been let out by the board. And I just feel that other people should take accountability for their mistakes. If I make a mistake or make a cock up, right, and I am who I am, I'm not going to get everything right. I don't sometimes read the room properly. Because to be honest with you, I've got a different brain to anyone else. I've got my brains, I'm wired differently. I'm wired completely differently to other people. And I see things totally different. Due to being autistic and having ADHD, it makes me wired differently. It makes me look at things differently. It makes me see things different to you guys. And I'm always the optimist. We're going to do well. Don't worry. It's a long window. We're going to get players in. We're going to do this. And maybe I'm too much of an optimist. Maybe I'm not looking at what's in the, as somebody told me the other day to read the room. Maybe I'm not reading the room when it comes to Tottenham and the transfers. Maybe there should be more blame put on the people that are running Spurs. And maybe this is probably the straw that breaks the camel's back for me, because we failed Ange last season. We didn't back him properly in any window. January, when we had the injury crisis, we didn't back him. We didn't back him in the January the season before. We didn't back him in the 2 windows last year. And okay, finished 17th with 22 league defeats. It's not good enough. But something had to change. He won us a trophy. Now you come to what Levy said. I am going to get to his comments in the interview. You have to sit back and think, did we back the manager? And we didn't back the manager. We didn't back him at all. You could give a manager full of kids, but that manager needs experience. We let Højbjerg go off to Marseille. Yeah, he wasn't going to get game time. But I'm sure if Højbjerg was still here in that last season, he would have got more game time sitting in that midfield and doing the job for Ange Postecoglou. And I get it. Paratici was the Don, and Paratici is back doing what he does best. But Tottenham are keeping them on a very tight leash. I mean, we've got all these things that come out. Possibly naming rights are going to kick in. This is going to be kicked in. That's going to be kicked in. But everything's been kept tight because Tottenham don't want to spend money. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know who else to blame. I don't know who else to point the finger at. I get it. Judgment should be done at a closable window. I accept that. And that's probably the best way of doing it. As Philip, I know I've got a few here, guys. I am starring the members' comments, by the way. If you do want to get your comments up, guys, and you do want to be read out and bring them up on screen, do pick up your memberships. They're only 99 cents, guys. And it helps us, and it also helps you. We're trying to slimline how we bring up comments. I'm always going to read them out manually anyway. And I've seen really good ones really, really good ones that add to what I'm talking about, I will start them. But pick up your memberships. It does help. It really does help, guys. Um, um, yeah, some wanted a new challenge, Dan. I agree with that. Calvin Phillips is also surplus to requirements at Man City. Would he want to come to Tottenham? I doubt it. Philip on the Daniel Levy Simon Jordan, important is putting out a historic interview. Do you know what, Philip? I don't think it is. I understand what you're getting at, but I think it's worth it. I want to see Simon Jordan grill Daniel Levy. I want to see him put him under pressure and ask him why. Ask the difficult questions. Ask the questions why. And I agree with Simon Jordan. I think Tottenham need a new captain. That's the spaceship we've built. And it always reminds me, it makes me laugh. I said it today. You walk down the high road and it looks like something out of Thunderbird 6 is going to come out the front of it. Like it's like the front of the stadium is going to come down and out comes Thunderbird 6 flying, probably Daniel Levy in his spaceship. But I'm just so want signings and we need them now. We've got Bayern Munich on Thursday. We've got the Super Cup then the following Wednesday, and we've got the Premier League the following Saturday. And we need to get players in before the start of the season. Any window, you look at Liverpool, got their business done early. You look at Man City, got the business on early. You look at Arsenal, getting the business done early. You look at Chelsea, how many players they've got, getting their business done early. And we're not getting the business done early. And I've always said, we're not in that top 4 bracket. We're probably in the top 7. Have we gone ahead of Newcastle and Aston Villa? I think because we're in the Champions League, we have. Squad-wise, I don't think so. We've known we've needed a striker for a long time. We've known all summer we've needed a left winger because Sonny's leaving. We've known we've needed left back because we haven't got cover there. What happens if we lose Jed Spence and Pedro Porro? You can stick Ben Davies on left back. I know Philip said here also, why the hate for Ben Davies? What did he do? He does a decent squad player who does not deserve to back it. Look, I get it. He's a good squad player. I get that. And I get it. He's been there a long time and he's responsible. He is professional. He does his job. He's a good role model for the younger players to come through. Not a problem. But Philip, Philip, that match on Sunday, we were so being killed down that left side. Newcastle knew that was our weak point. Now, if we have Jed Spence who can play left or right, great. But Ben Davies played as a left centre-back in the 3 for Wales. He's not a left-back. He played there last season for Ange and we got murdered. I understand keeping Ben Davies there as a cover for centre-back. Get that. That and the left side of the defence, get that. That makes sense. But you need to buy a left-back to cover that left side of midfield. I mean, there's talk about putting Van der Ven as left-back. He can play there. But then who's going to play in the middle? Probably Danso, who I thought's done quite well this pre-season. I just don't think your left back is Ben Davies. I think he's a left centre back. I think he's there for cover, and I think for everything else he does for the club, I think I admire him. I think I respect him. But it doesn't mean that he's going to be your left back. And we got killed down there on Sunday. Newcastle knew that was our weak link. They kept pushing down that left side. They couldn't push down the right side because the new Romero-Porro partnership, and as well as Brennan Johnson coming back doing his defensive work as well, they had no choice going down the right side. So Anthony Gordon had an absolute field day going down that left side. They changed it when Spence came on. They put Gordon then on the right. And he had less of an effect on the game on the right side than he did on the left side. So we desperately need a left back. We desperately need somebody that's going to cover. Is going to cover for your doggy, because you can have Jed Spence, Grant. He can cover on the left side. But what happens if both fullbacks get injured? Have you got the confidence that Ben Davies can do an absolute stunning job for the full 90 minutes. I don't have that confidence in him. I have more confidence in him as a left-sided centre-back on the 3 because he played there for Wales. As a left-back, I just don't have that confidence in him to do the job. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just how I feel. And he also goes on to say, judgment on transfer window should be done when it's closed. Not now. An awful lot will happen. Well, I hope you're right. In and out of clubs, yeah, more likely out. But we need to, if we're supposed to be in the Champions League and we want to compete in the Champions League and we want to get out of the league phase and we want to move on to the next step, then we have to go out and buy the players. But the problem is we should have done this early in the window. We should have all our business done. The majority of the main players we wanted in done. And if Kudos is our only marquee signing, I think that is as good as Kudos is. I don't think that's good enough. I look, there's talk about Pacquiao coming in from West Ham. Now, we all know what he was put up for. He has been found cleared. He may not be everyone's player, but I think he would do a good job in that number 10. But again, we were slowed down. We stopped because of Morgan Gibbs. Right. It all just stopped there where we should have been. Right. Okay. You're dealing with Morgan Gibbs. Right. Right. You go and sort out other transfers. Get it done. Get the job. Put the jobs around to other people that are doing the jobs. And we haven't done that. We just have not done that. And look, I really hope we go out and get Jack Grealish for the left side of midfield because I think he will do an absolute. I think let me finish. Jack Grealish on the left side of that midfield. I think he will cause a whole lot of problems. I really do. Big up to Rhino Dermo. We didn't backhand Rhino. I don't know where you get this backhand. We didn't backhand at all. When we had all the injuries last season, when he was down to the bare bones, did the club go out and say, right, we're going to get you cover 3 or 4 different positions? No, we brought in 1 or 2 players. That's not covering the manager. That's not backing the manager. That's just saying, well, we're going to give you what we want to give you and get on with it. Look, Danso's a good player. I really like Danso. I think Dragerson can improve, and I think he will improve, but I think Danso is probably better ahead of him. Dragerson is back training, I think, should be back training in October, so he might be back playing by Christmas, hopefully. But we didn't backhand Rhino. We didn't backhand. We didn't backhand last summer. We didn't backhand last summer. The summer before we backhand with proper players. A Paratici window. Look at the difference between a Lang window and a Paratici window. Paratici brings in Vicario, brings in your doggy, brings in Bentancur, brings in Kulu, right? These are over the times he was at Spurs. Brings in Jed Spence, brings in Porro, brings in James Maddison, brings in Mickey van der Ven, brings in your doggy, brings in Basuma. I think did Basuma come before? But anyway, so you're looking at 6 or 7 players he's brought in that are first teamers that do good for the football club. Lang comes in. What did Lang do last January? Nothing. We bought Danso. And, Paratici also bought in Bergville and Archie Gray. 2 players that shone last season. Lang did not bring any players that shone, that does the job for you. Now, that could be down to Daniel Levy for the way that he gives them his brief and where he gives them, this is what I want you to do. Where if you look on Paratici transfer window, he's telling Daniel Levy, you leave this to me. This is my job. You concentrate the business side. You leave the football side to me. And this is where I think that Paratici is a far better football director than Lang is. And I don't think Lang is doing his job, and I think he has to be criticised. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nobody's going to agree with me, but I do feel that Paratici done a better window. If you look at the 2 windows, put them back to back, Rhino, right? And you look at the players Paratici bought in, look at the players Lang bought in under Ange, tell me Ange was backed. And the answer to that, he wasn't backed. He was not backed whatsoever. Big up to David. Getting Grealish on loan is a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. For me, I think you should go out and get it done now. It should be done this evening now. Get out there and do your jobs. Big up Jared. How much fat will Levy trim off last year's wage bill cut by 35%? I think if the for what I heard somewhere on a show, I think if we get the naming rights, I think that would trim us under 40% of wages. There was a I meant to download it today and I didn't. There was a graphic of the Premier League, and Aston Villa are sitting at 92% of wages, and Tottenham are up the top on 44%. I think when the money comes in for the naming rights, that might be cut down to, I think, under 40% into the 30% bracket, something like that. Big up to you, Dan. Look, you can do when you can, mate. Look, it's 99 pence, so every little helps. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support, brother. Really do. Get him to, yeah, I think so as well. I get into real grown now, Philip. I agree with you. I really do agree with you, Dermot. What's happened to this so-called takeover? It is coming. These things take time, Dan, and I can't say anything about it in the moment because I'm not allowed to. But as soon as I do get anything done, you were the first to know. Guarantee you. Does Levy dig about sovereign club owners in the Never interview? Me naming rights, etc. is off the table. He did mention Man City. He doesn't agree with one thing. I will agree with Levy as well, and he did say it. He doesn't agree with football regulator getting involved in football, and I agree with that. I really agree with that. I think for me, I think a football regulator is not good for the game. Is not good for anybody. I don't know why the government are getting involved in it. I don't need to get involved in it. I think the FA and I think the Premier League should work closer together to help do what they have to do. I understand the FA are busy with other things as well, but I don't think it needs the football. It needs the government to come in to stick their muddy fingers in it. And does that make it right? No, it doesn't make it right, because politics should not be getting in with football. It's simple as that. It's as simple as that. Big up to Miss Brady. He's saying Odegaard and Tell can play on the left side. Yeah, they can. I like Odegaard, to be fair, Philip. I do like Tell as well. But would you rather have a drag grid? Let me ask you a question then, Philip. Then, who would you rather on the left side against Burnley, Odegaard or Tell, or would you rather have a drag Grealish on the left and put Tell up front if Solanke's not fit? Let me know, and that goes to everyone in the chat. Let me know what you think on that. Big up, Chris. Big up to you, Chris. Yeah, he does want us in the back. Philip, West Ham still have issues if to sell. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, could use Grealish as a 10. That's a good point. He could play in the 10 role. Very good point there, Mr. Brady. We've got Greg Zelner. It's the race structure. We should get a lot of experienced top level play. Greg, look, I agree with you, but we don't buy experienced players, do we? We buy youngsters, and which is no good. Big up to Rhino. He says, I agree with that. The Don is better than Lange 100%. He is. Big up to SDFC Binny. The longer the winter goes on, the less I'm looking forward to that Super Cup. I am still looking forward to the Super Cup. I still think we can win the Super Cup. I really do. And then Ryan says, I think Levy talks so much rubbish that I don't believe anything he says he has shown to me. Yeah, well, let's get into it. These were some of the questions that he brought out. Now, these were one of them, right? He was asked, Gary never asked him a few questions, actually, but this is one of the first ones, on whether Thomas Frank will be backed in the transfer market. Levy's response, we will support him the best of our ability. If you look at the transfer fees, we've been in the top 4 spending since the stadium opened. We have spent around 700 million net on new players. This isn't just about money, it's about some luck, having the right balance in the team, and having the right coach. A lot of things have to come together. I very much hope Thomas brings all the right ingredients to put the club where it deserves, which is right at the top. Right, so let me just stop there. Right, 700 million he says he has spent since the stadium has opened. Now, if you were to look through our squad and look at the players we have bought, you could probably count nearly on two hands the top level players that we've bought, like a Romero, Van de Ven, Vicario, Porro, Udogi, Bentancur, Papa Sarr, who I thought has had a really good preseason so far, by the way. You're looking at probably James Maddison on this day is a really decent number 10. And then you're looking at probably Brennan Johnson. I know a lot of people don't like Brennan Johnson. I get that, but I think he is. So we haven't really since the stadium opened in 2019, I think, because somebody let me know if I'm right on that in the chat. Was it 2019? Do you think that we have spent wisely? And the answer to that is no, we haven't spent wisely at all. I think we've bought some really good players. I think we've bought some really average players. And then we've bought some really bad players. I mean, I know we got Timo Werner on loan, but we still had to pay his wages. And he didn't even play in the last bit of the season. We were brought in. We had a really great bunch of academy kids coming through the academy that were really our top niche, top of the talent. Mikey Moore being one, Ashley Phillips being another, Donnelly being another, Dean Scarlett being another. You want them somehow over the last 2.5 years to integrate them into the first team and get them going as first team regulars. And a lot of them are very talented players. And what have they done? Most of them are going out on loan this year. I just think we've wasted some of the 700 million. I'm not saying we wasted all of it, but if you look at the players that we did buy and the average players we've bought, I just feel we haven't bought wisely enough. And I know we can be the fourth biggest spenders, and we probably are. But again, it's about spending your money right. It's about spending your money wisely. It's about spending your money on better players to come in to improve your first team. And if you've got a decent academy kids coming through, get them integrated into the first team. And buy players that fits a philosophy. Buy players that fits that manager's needs. But the problem is at Tottenham, we spend 700 million, but how many times have we sacked a manager within 18 months? How many times did we back Mourinho? No. Did we back Conte? No. Did we back Nuno? No. Did we back Ange Postecoglou? Sort of. Are we backing Thomas Frank? No. To back a manager, you have to buy the players the manager wants. He will come with a list of players, Thomas Frank. I bet you, look, you go down to Lang and Levy, right? I want this play for this position, this play for this position, this play for this position, this play for this position. And I want A, B, C, D gone. They're the players I don't want in my squad. I want them replaced with A, B, C, and D. I want these players to replace them. Right, go and get it done. They should get the players the manager wants, not what they want, not as good as a club signing. I'm sick of hearing club signings. You look at, and I hate using this analogy, but you look at the players Arteta's bought, right? And I know he's won one trophy in 8 years. Well, 5. How long has he been at Arsenal? Is it 7? Is it 8, 6, 7 years? 6, 7 years, 8 years, something like that. Hey, look, he's rebuilt a squad that's competed for the Premier League title 3 years in a row. Rightly, they've finished second. And yes, we have the banter with them and we call them bottle jobs and all this. And there's a bit of Tottenham Arsenal banter and, you know, you have fun with it. But they finished second in the Premier League. They've been consistent enough to finish high in the league. Because Arsenal backed him with the right players. Arsenal knew they needed a striker. They didn't diddly and daddly about it. They went out and bought Gyökeres. Right, we're getting him. Here's our player. We're going to pay the money. We're going to get the striker in that he needs. he needed a midfielder, right? And I hate using this, and I won't name them, but I think you guys know who I'm on about. They wanted a midfielder, right? That's 100 million. We'll pay for that for the midfielder to make you a midfield strong. We don't do that. We take so long, and I don't know if it's a Daniel Levy problem, if it's a club problem, if it's a mentality within the transfer recruitment office. It's just so slow. And I get it, the transfer window's open for 2 months. And I get it, you're right, people saying, wait till the 1st of September, then judge the window. But it's just so damn frustrating that we're waiting for players to come in because we know now we need a number 10. We know now we need a left winger. But surely to God, we knew Son was leaving. Son said early in the summer, I'm leaving. I don't want to sign a new contract. I'm not going to be good enough for the team. I'm leaving. So I'm going. Surely somebody in Tottenham should have said, right, Sonny's leaving. Right, let's go out and get a left winger. Let's replace a legend with a really decent, experienced left winger, and let Odegaard and Tell and Yang learn off him. But they don't. They leave everything to the last minute, and now it's scrambling around looking for pickups that we can get in. And I just can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around it. Big up to Shawnee Mannix. Tell his left winger we have too many. They will get a 10 if we're lucky, or 4. We need a striker, basically. I will get to your question in a minute, Rhino. So let me know. He says, what is success for Spurs in the next 3 years? Now, this is the bit I didn't get. He says, we need to compete at the highest level. You need to compete at the highest level. You need to buy the players to help you compete at that higher level. We need to constantly try and win trophies. That's what it's all about. Yes, it is what it's all about. Has he finally got it? Has Daniel Levy has the penny dropped for him that what is most important to us fans is not top 4. It's not just qualifying for the Champions League. It's about winning trophies. It's about winning competitions. It's about having that parade again down the high street, seeing the fans celebrating, singing, dancing, enjoying it, having the day out, winning major trophies. Has he now finally got it? I hope he has. I hope it's now suddenly, after 25 years, it's sunk into him that we need to compete. He said try. I thought he said buy. No, try to compete. And then he says, Levy on the fan protests. When I'm gone, I will get the credit. Right, this is where I'm going to read through it, and I am going to give him credit now. I'm probably going to get pelters for it, but I am. When I'm not here, I will surely get the credit, said Levy. When you come here and look at this wonderful building and the fact that other clubs are trying to copy what we're doing, it should be a sign that we did something a bit bold and right. Of course, fans' unrests hurts, but when their pain is also my pain. I want to win, and when we're not playing well, I'm not winning. Believe me, I suffer as well. It ruins my whole weekend. It's horrible. You're in this to win. When you don't win, it's not fun. Exactly. So this is my point. Has the penny finally dropped with him? Has the penalty finally dropped in his head? And with the when I'm gone, will I get credit? He will get credit. He will get credit for the financial side of the club. He will get credit for leaving us financially secure and stable the first time in our history. He will get credit for the business side of the football stadium. And look, if you think about it, right, and this is trying to be fair to him, he's won more trophies than Alan Sugar did in his time as chairman. He's on the same trophy ratio as Ivan Scholar had. Now, Ivan Scholar won 2 trophies early in his career, 82 and 84. He didn't win nothing else then for this whole tenure. But he nearly bankrupted the club trying to do that. Now, some fans think, do you know what? at least he was trying to win us something. We're stably. I never want a fan to go through what I went through back in the 80s and early 90s. No way. I think Daniel Levy deserves credit for the business side and criticism for the football side. And I think that's fair. I think it's a fair sort of point to come to, that he does deserve credit for the football inside. He does deserve credit for the business side. He does deserve credit for making us financially secure for the first time in our history. Rarely secure, rarely stable, really financially on a solid foundation that whoever comes in next after him can take it to the next level. And this is where I agree with Simon Jordan. He's taken it as far as he can take it. We need a new captain. We need a new skipper to take us on to the next level. And I'm sure Daniel Levy does not want to be here till he's 70 or 80 still being in charge at Tottenham. I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure he wants to enjoy his life. He wants to enjoy the next 20, 30 years with his family, with the money he's earned. He's not a rich man. He's a rich man, but he hasn't got the billions to put into the club because all his money's tied into Tottenham Hotspur. Joe Lewis and his cronies over in Enoch, they're the ones that should be pumping money in. And they don't pump money in. So we've got the investment that's coming in from the naming rights, which it leaves me, that's another question, guys, the naming rights. How long has it taken so long to get the naming rights done? I mean, we did hire a fella to do the naming rights. I'd love to know what he did for 4 years. Did he do anything? Did he actually sat there and do anything? But look, football inside, I can criticize you, and I will. Business side of the game, making us financially secure, making us financially probably stable for the first time in the history, a fantastic stadium, fantastic training facilities. Yes, I will give you credit for that. But I won't give you credit for the way that you won't back managers. It's just simple as that. Look, these are the finals that he has got to under Daniel Levy. We lost the 2001 and 2 League Cup. Of course, then we won the League Cup versus Chelsea. We lost the League Cup against Manchester United. We lost the League Cup against Chelsea. We lost the Champions League final against Liverpool. We lost the League Cup against Chelsea, and then we lost the League Cup Europa League against Manchester United. Now, I'm going to flip it on its head. And this is a question for you guys, and you in the comments as well. Imagine if we won most of them finals, right? Imagine if we won the 2001-2 League Cup, and we backed it up then with the League Cup in 2007, 2008. And then we backed that up with we're winning it the following year, back-to-back League Cup champions. Then we won it again. Imagine them lost were all wins. Okay? Would Daniel Levy be so vilified as he is if them say 1, 2, 3, 4, if them 5 defeats were turned into wins, right? Would he be vilified? Or if he won, look, forget the 2008, forget the Europa League. We'll won them, so forget them. But say he won 3 League Cups and still lost the Champions League final. Would he still be vilified? Or we won the Champions League final and won 2 League Cups. Would he still be vilified? Yeah, I agree, Jazz. Yeah, but not to this degree. Exactly. So we have got the semi-finals. We have got the finals. We've chased Chelsea, and we should have won the league when Leicester won it. There's no question about that. And again, he didn't back Poch in January to help us win that league. But we should have, after the Champions League final, or even after finishing the league against Leicester, was shown that summer, we should have shored up the squad, get players in to help Poch, and then move on and see can we compete that way. That was the time to compete. That was the time to back up the manager. That was the time to really go for it. Go for it. Let it go and just really put everything into it and let's have a crack at this. But we have been so unlucky. We've been lucky. We've lost so many finals. So in one way, I think Daniel Levy is thinking about final. Yeah, nobody remains second place. You're in it to win it. Exactly. And we only lost to Man United on penalties. We lost. I mean, we should have. I think we should have beaten Man City in the League Cup. I think that year, 2021. I think we should have won that. There is the Dordetta Football Money League. We are sitting 9th in that from 8th. With 519,837,000. If you look at Real Madrid, Man City, and PSG, well, Man City state-owned, PSG state-owned. Look at 700, 600 million. It makes you think that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 Premier League clubs in the top 10 in the Money League, which is quite understandable. Right, we're just getting through some. Sharine, are you still in the chat, or is Dermot being nice to leave you to chase you off? Don't turn off the telly to watch the Premier Money League. Don't turn on the telly to watch the Premier Money League. No. Right, these are all from Sky Sports, guys. These are the latest outgoings. Jamie Donnelly is expected to join Stoke on loan on the season-long loan, which I think he already has done now. Today's Tuesday, so he's already gone to there for a season-long loan. Ashley Phillips was sent out. Defender Ashley Phillips is already on loan from Spurs at Stoke, so he's joining Ashley Phillips there at Stoke. We've got forward Will Lancashire sent out on loan. Will Lancashire was joined Oxford United on loan on Monday evening. I know Mary says in our member chat she's going to keep me up to date on that, so thank you, Mary, for that. And then Spurs want to sign the number 10 and the centre-back this summer. Tottenham are looking to sign the number 10 and the new senior centre-back this summer, according to Football.London. The report claims that Spurs are confident that they will have the funds to carry out their transfer plans. New head coach Thomas Frank has reportedly prohibited both a central attacking playmaker and another centre-back with a good level of experience to bolster his options in defence. We have to wait and see, don't we, guys, on that? We really do. And then these are lastly on Sonny. I think Sonny, I will do a show on Sonny. I will do a pre-record for you members on Sonny. I just really want to take a few days to get it right. So that will be coming out. But some of the Spurs, let me take the banners off. Let me take that off. Hang on. Let me take that off. There we go. Some of the Tottenham players have actually put onto Tottenham onto X, and this is what they said. Cristiano Romero, he says, "You leave us as the ultimate legend of this beautiful club. You've failed many times, but you kept trying. You made it to the end." Richarlison said, "You made history wearing the Spurs shirt. I'm so happy that I was able to win such an important title alongside you. You truly deserve it." Destiny Udogi puts legend. James Maddison says, 10 years ago, you arrived here as a kid. Now you leave a legend and one of my best friends. Big up to you, James Maddison. Look, I hope you get well soon, Maddis. We will miss you. Kieran Trippier, Newcastle captain, former Tottenham player, said it's been a pleasure to share the field with you. We've got Basuma saying legend as well. Big up to Biss saying some things. Then we've got Pedro Porro saying, "You are a true example of top professionalism. You leave Spurs as not only a legend, but as a brother to us all. Best of luck, my amigo." Papa Sad says, "I'm happy that you leave Spurs a winner. Thank you, Sonny." Brennan Johnson says, "Absolute pleasure to share in the pitch with you, brother. An unbelievable player, but an even better human." And Mickey Van der Ven said, "It was an honor to share the pitch and dressing with you. Thank you, legend." And that was just some of the nice words from the Spurs players said to Sonny before he left. Now, lastly, get into this before we finish up. Loan exits. Now, these are the players that have gone out on loan, who are going out on loan. Ashley Phillips has gone on loan. Will Lancashire's gone on loan. Jamie Donnelly's on loan. Luca's going to go out on loan. Yang's going to go out on loan. And we know Mikey Moore is at Rangers. I do not understand why Luca's going out on loan. I would keep him around. I know the Taki is injured for the next 2 months. He's got some sort of foot injury that will clear up. What's even more surprising, I'm surprised we bought a player that was injured, but apparently it's an infection in the foot that clears up over a certain amount of time. So he will be back the next month or so. But I wouldn't keep Luca. And I also would keep Yang. I think Yang can learn so much at the club. But let me know in the chat, guys, who would you have kept around? The players that have been loaned out and who are going to be loaned out, who would you have kept around to help them? Probably who would you have kept around to keep in the first team? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. I know we had a talk there from Rhino, so let's see. Where is it now? It says, Dermo, can you name me all the best players we have signed? Well, it depends what you're asking. Rhino, are you talking under Paratici? You talking under my lifetime of supporting Tottenham Hotspur? What do you mean? Can you name the bid? So to be more specific, if you can, with the question. Centre backs, yeah, Donnelly should have stayed. I agree with you, Shawnee. He said, so frustration, Richie will be hurt in a month, given his record. I know. That's the bit that frustrates me. Did we offload Solomon? There's a lot of guys who should have been sent off. Now, I think Solomon's injured and he's still at the club. So as far as I know, he's still there. Right. Okay, just let me go on. So let me know, Rhino, what's there. And then 20. Okay, so 20 from 2019. Well, you look at it then, you had Romero, you got Mickey Van der Ven, you got the Vicario, you got Pedro Porro, you got your doggy, you probably got Jed Spence as well, you got Bentancur, you've got who else? Bentancur, you've got Papa Sarr, you've got who else? You probably got Kudos as well in that bracket. Kulu. Brennan Johnson. I know everyone slates Johnson off, but for me, Johnson was our top goal scorer last season. That cannot be sniffed at. And also, he's very good at being in the right place at the right time to get the goals. So he did score the winning goal to win us the trophy. So that should not be sniffed at. I think that's about it, Rhino. For me, I think they're the best players that we've bought. I think Basuma's been the biggest letdown. I think for what he did last summer. I think for all the shenanigans he got caught doing. I think put Maddis in there as well. Can't make the club into a tub in a manner of speaking. Yeah, that's true. I think Madison as well. I think we've bought good as well when it comes to youngsters. I bring them up again. I think Luca was a great signing. Yang's going to be a great signing. The young Japanese lad, Taka, is going to be a great signing for us. You look at Ashley Phillips, Will Lancashire, Jamie Donnelly, Mikey Moore. They're all going to be in the first team. And also, they should be in the first team this season. They should not be going out on loan. I just don't agree when we need a number 10 and we need and a left winger that we're getting rid of these players on loan. I think we need them. It's down to Thomas Frank. He is the manager. He's gonna want the players he wants around. I just find it very weird. Very frustrating. I think the word I'm looking for. I'm very frustrated. This is a very frustrating window so far. I don't think Johnson is high enough level for our ambitions, but I want to see what Frank can do without him. Look, I don't agree with you, Shawnee. I think Brendan Johnson is probably one of our better players. I know he hasn't had a great preseason, I grant you, but Look at the goal he scored on Sunday. And look, he was doing a lot more defensive work. He was doubling up with Porro. He was coming back, doing what he's supposed to be doing. He was working hard. So I think it's easy to dish It's easy to dish Johnson. Then say, do you know what? He's a good squad player. I think Johnson might prove a few people wrong under Thomas Frank. I'm just saying he might do. Well, listen, guys, that is it. That is all for me tonight. I am back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I've got a little bit of a panel coming on. I think Kate and Jim are coming on tomorrow night, as I am on We Are Talking TV on Thursday for their pump-up show. So the watch a lot, before the whistle happens here on Thursday at 5 o'clock, and then the watch along starts here at 5:20, guys. So do join me for that tomorrow. I'm going to have who else I've got coming on tomorrow? I've got Luke coming on from here, coming on as well. He's got a new channel as well. And then, as I said, Kate and Jim are coming on tomorrow night as well, because I'm going on to We Are Talking TV on Thursday. I thought fair being fair. So do join me tomorrow night at 8. We're going to have a bit of a debate. We're going to go over some of the transfer news of the day. We're going to go over the loanings out of young players. I want to get their thoughts on it as well, and we'll probably touch a bit more on the Levy interview as well, and see what they've got to think, and try to get a good talking point out of it. It's 5:30 on Thursday, Shawnee. But join me here, because we are doing the watch along. We're doing Before the Whistle and the watch along. So please join me for that. Guys, thank you all very much for watching. Do pick up your memberships. Do hit that like button. Do hit that subscription button as well, if you can. And whatever you do, always enjoy your Spurs. It's come on, your Spurs. In Thomas Frank we trust. The Frank train, Thomas the Frank train has left the platform. All aboard. We are leaving now to glory land. That's where we're heading. Come on, you Spurs.
Eyes on the prize.